Thank you. Questions being raised about the safety of a Butler County intersection between Rose Hill and Augusta after the second deadly crash there in less than 2 years.
Today, 12 News reporter Brock Wilson learned more about the family involved in Sunday's crash and what the community wants done to make that intersection safer. Brock?
I'm at the intersection of Southwest 150th and Southwest Santa Fe Lake Road where that crash happened. Since Sunday, we've received a number of messages from people in the community raising concerns about the safety of this area after a Wichita veterinarian and her daughter both lost their lives.
She loved her family. She loved Jesus. I know she's in heaven with him right now.
Dr. April Horn co-owned Sisters Herndon Veterinary Clinic with her sister, Dr. Monica Moore, who was killed in a car crash at the intersection of Southwest 150th and Southwest Santa Fe Lake Road Sunday evening, along with her youngest daughter, Madison.
She was a leader who loved her staff. She loved her clients. She loved all the patients.
The crash Monica and Madison were involved in happened at an intersection where some say this happens all too often.
The amount of traffic that we have had increase over the last 20 years is getting worse and faster all the time.
Randy Farney has had family living at the corner of Southwest Santa Fe Lake Road and 150th for years and has seen several deadly crashes.
We've had so many wrecks and so many deaths.
And hopes the county can step in and make some changes.
I wish Butler County would put rumble strips or a four-way stop or a stop light or something. It's just gotten to that point.
And he thinks too many lives have been lost to make the excuse that it's too expensive.
Blinking light, flashing light, rumble strips. There's already 2 out here. Put 2 more, that's $3,000, really? I mean, that's nothing to pay.
We've gotten word several people will be at Tuesday's Butler County Commission meeting to voice their concerns about this intersection and say what they think should be done to make it safer.